Are you a comfort rider, a sporty rider, or do you just like style? Hi, my name is Karin Wiener from the New Wheel, the Bay Area's electric bike shop, and I am joined today by Amanda to talk about the Gazelle Ultimate T10. Thanks for sitting with me.
Thank you, Karin.
You spent the last few days riding this bike. What's your impression then?
Loving this bike. Loving how comfortable it is, solid, grounded, and powerful.
It doesn't really ride like any other Gazelle before, does it?
It's a little sportier. The steering on this bike is really interesting. It feels really solid, stable, and really easy to control.
Yeah, there's kind of a preciseness in the way it handles, right?
Mm-hmm. The motor's so nicely integrated, so is the battery, as well as the lines going into the top tube there. Cables integrated. This motor, compared to previous motors, is more powerful, has higher torque, and handled hills in San Francisco, and it's an awesome climber.
Did you go search out some steep ones?
Yes, totally. Straight up, no problem, up to our Bernal shop every single day. And in fact, I went out of my way to take the steep routes up.
You rode in today from the city, you rode here. What was your journey? Where did you go?
Started in the Mission. Went to a bakery, and then continued over the Golden Gate Bridge, had an awesome ride, and then ended up here in Sausalito. So a good 15-mile ride.
Not too
I was
bad.
afraid I wasn't gonna have enough battery, and then I only used one bar.
What level of assist were you in? Turbo? All the time. Fantastic, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know that it makes sense. This bike sports the new Bosch Performance Line motor, and one of the things that it has is increased efficiency. So, I think for me riding that ride, in the past, it probably would have taken 2, maybe 2.5 bars of power. So that's very exciting just to hear that it's performing that way. I think what's so cool and inspiring about this bike is that it's a really serious step-through bike. Gazelle has taken a lot of things that they know about step-through bikes, about comfort, and about e-bike riding, and they've built this beautiful frame to showcase this new motor.
It's beautiful.
Stability really comes from two places. It comes from here and it comes from here.
Okay.
And they've hydroformed those two parts of the frame.
Hydroform.
It's a really sophisticated method of shaping metal. And so what you see on the outside is a beautiful sculptural frame and design around the Bosch system.
Right. Okay.
And from the ride perspective, I think what you hit upon is this sort of like confidence and stable, strong feeling.
It feels like riding a regular bike. You don't have any motor sound, vibration. You don't even know it's there, except for that you're riding faster and climbing hills a lot easier than you normally would.
Like a superhero. I'm really excited about this bike because I think it's kind of part of a vanguard of serious step-through bikes. The bike industry has such a bad reputation of pigeonholing the types of riders that would ride something like this. But what we know about our customers and the people who enjoy these bikes is that they're all different types of people with all different types of desires, but fundamentally they just want it to be easy to get on and off of a bike. But now they can have performance, they can have a really groovy drivetrain and a groovy motor and a solid, stable feel with great brakes, and it's step through. So how cool is that? And I am happy to see those people who are really like me people be taken seriously. One really noticeable thing about this bike is the fork and its redesign. What I understand from the designers at Gazelle is that they really put a lot of thought into this. And what this single shock design does is it allows them to give the bike comfort features and safety features associated with suspension without a ton of weight. And I think it looks really beautiful. Like, I kind of like the skinny look when I look this direction. Fundamentally, having a bike that looks beautiful and that has really kind of classy details makes you more excited to get on.
It's the subtle details, even like the rounded front of that fender.
Yeah.
I don't know, all
love this fender mount where it looks like it's floating is really elegant.
I'm in love with the fenders.
Yeah.
I've never liked fenders as much. I've never noticed them as much. But it just goes to show how much thought Gazelle is putting into this bike. It's the subtle things. I think that's what makes a Gazelle a Gazelle.
I feel like the details and the experience are finally meeting the performance that I've always wanted for San Francisco. And so now it's time to like have a lot of fun on a Gazelle, not just be super comfortable, but like be comfortable and have a rip-roaring time. The bike comes ready to be used for really practical purposes. What accessories are included and what features do they add? What functions do they add?
Fenders are built in front and rear. Headlight, really bright and adjustable. A rear light, LED, that runs across and is integrated into the back rack. A back rack that can hold, I think, almost 60 pounds of weight, so great for panniers. The ergonomic grips, which are wonderful, I love them. Great Shimano brakes, and a kickstand. You kick it, and the bike stands.
What a concept. The cafe lock is also back there.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, it strikes me that the battery is beautifully integrated on this bike. How did it function in your life?
It's like right where you need it. The charging port, the key, and where the battery lifts, all happening in the same place.
Totally practical, easy to use.
An e-bike is only great if it fits well, and this bike is available in 3 different sizes. Fits riders 5 foot all the way to 6'4". A lot of adjustability in between, including an adjustable stem. Available in 2 colors, champion red and ivory.
In sum, I think what makes this bike exciting and fresh is that Gazelle brings their A game with all of their experience in sort of the joy of cycling, comfort, power, stability, but then also just this beautiful bike. And Bosch brings their A game with this wonderfully quiet motor, which just makes the bike feel like magic. And the overall feel is just joy. And if an e-bike should feel one way, I think it should feel joyous. But you certainly don't have to take my word for it. Come in.
We would love to see you. Come on into our shop. We have a shop in San Francisco, a shop in Larkspur, and come see why this Gazelle is different.
It's ultimate.